Hello, lovely teachers. I'm Heather from Teaching with Coffee and Mascara, and I'm super excited. Today, I am going to help you make over your teacher toolbox. So we have been doing a little mini series of creating our very own classroom decor, and we had a request for teacher toolbox labels. So let's get started. Okay, so today the toolbox that I will be designing for is the Arko-Mils 26 drawer that I got off of Amazon. It looks like this. So as you can see, it has 6 of the large drawers and then it has a bunch of the smaller drawers. Definitely the first thing that you want to always start with is to measure. So I've already measured my toolbox. You'll need a couple of different measurements. So you'll just need the length and the height of each drawer of the 2 sizes. And then for our ending project, so we're going to make 2 different kinds of labels. And then our last set is going to be like this, where it's just one large image. And so for this, you'll need to measure from here all the way over to here for that part, for that step. All right, let's get started. So first up, we have pulled up our planning sheet. We made this back in our first video. I'll link that below if you need to go back and rewatch how we made this. Basically, we already picked our fonts and we chose our color palette. And so that's what we're going to work with every time so that our classroom decor looks cohesive and it all looks beautiful together. So, all right, so here we are and we've created our little template. So this is just made up of rectangles. Oops. Okay, so for mine, my height is 2 inches and the width is 4.2 inches. And then my small rectangles are 1.41 inches by 2.04 inches. And the way I made my template is I made it so that it exactly matches my toolbox. So I also measured to get my my rectangles the right amount of spacing so that it does look exactly like my toolbox when I went ahead and put them in. So the first step is that you want to make this template and then you want to make a copy. So I want to copy it because I don't want to be right on top of my template. I want to make sure that I've saved my template somewhere else so that I don't accidentally mess it up. I already did that. So we are going to first up, we are going to make a design. We're going to make this design. So that means that we are going to color in our background boxes first. This will give it a nice color. I'm going to do it in the exact same order as my rainbow. All right, so there's my backgrounds. Like I said, I did it in the same order as the rainbow so that it would kind of match that rainbow. Next up, we are going to want to go ahead and type in all of the things that we want to put in our box. So I'm going to go and I'm going to pull my font from my planning page. All right, so usually on a colored background, 2 different text look the best. I'm going to show you how to do and achieve both of those, and then you can choose which one works for you. Also, before you get started, you'll want to make a list of all the things that you plan to put in your teacher toolbox so that you'll know what you want in your large drawers, what you want in your small drawers, and if there's a certain order you want them to go in. Like maybe if you have something really heavy that you want to be at the bottom and something lighter or something that you're going to a lot at the top. Okay, I forgot to mention that you actually want to make sure that when you're doing this, you start with your longest word first. So as you can see, highlighters is really long. So I would want to go ahead and make that the exact length, the font size that I need. So that then I can make all the other ones match. Unless you're okay with having some big and some not. I like all mine to be the same. All right, so one of the things that looks nice on a colored background is a white text, just like this. If you feel like that doesn't make it pop quite enough, you could add a black outline. I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to click on the text. I'm going to go over here. Mine's already open, but up here it says shape format. That will bring up this toolbar, the format pane. Text options. My text outline, I want a solid line, black. Usually it defaults to blue, so double check that you are on black. And I like to up my size to about 2, 1.5 to 2. It depends on what I'm making. And then for this, I also like to add like a little shadow. This is something that you can kind of play with. Even just that right there kind of makes it pop more. Personally, I like to take down my transparency and my blur to 0. All right, one last thing that you can do to make these pop is that you can add clip art. So I already have my clip art up. I like mine from Rainbow Sprinkle Studios, and you could use the colored image, but I am going to go ahead and pull in my black and white image. All right, so there's the first style. That's a colored background. You would do the exact same thing for the small pencil boxes. I'm sorry, for the small toolboxes. All right, so let's make a different one. Maybe you want to use a little less ink. So the next kind that we're going to make is this kind right here, where the color that we're getting is from the text as well as from a border. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add in a rectangle. That's going to give it that nice border. Okay, so we want our shape fill to be nothing. And I'm going to change my outline color to one of my colors from my color palette. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did with that first one. And I'm going to start with that dark and I'm going to make it match my little rainbow. Then I'm going to adjust my weight to about, no, I don't want it at 3. I want it more than that. 4 looks good to me. All right, next up we are going to go ahead and add our font. All right, so you can, again, you want to start with your longest word, like highlighters. And this, I just made this match the box behind it. You could do a nice black, or you can do the exact same thing that we did with the other one, which is to have an outline or a shadow. And I'm going to make the inside of this actually also match the outside. To give a little something extra, feel free to add that clip art in color or black and white. And then you'll do the same thing. You'll pick one style and you'll repeat that over here. If you're trying out multiple styles and then you decide that you want to pick one, you can click on the outside. You can click on your paintbrush, and then it will make it copy the exact same font style. If you double click the paintbrush, it will keep going until you click off. And then from there, you could just go and you could change your colors to match. All right, now we are going to make the very last one, which is actually kind of the most tricky. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make a template. And so before I start, let me show you. Okay, so it's basically, it's one image behind everything. So it's not a whole bunch of little images. And so you I like to do it this way. I like to create this template so it's the same rectangles with a black outline, no fill. Then I've gone in and I've added a bunch of rectangles that are a solid white fill and no line. And basically all my little white rectangles make it look like a page, as you can see. And then I'm going to go to Arrange, Group. And what I've done is I've made like an overlay, a frame to put an image. I'm going to be putting an image behind it. Okay, so I have my image here. I'm going to take it in. And remember earlier I was telling you would want to measure from one edge to the other edge. And I went ahead and did that. And mine needed to be, let's see, I think it was 17. Yeah, 17. So the first part is I'm going to send it all the way to the back. And I'm going to arrange where I want it to kind of start. How far up I want it to go, how far over. Okay, once I have that one, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy and paste an exact same one on top. And I'm going to work to line it up. I'm going to crop to this edge. As you can see, like to the edge of the rectangles. When I've cropped it, I'm going to go down because it was a little bit off-centered. And then I'm going to press Cut. And I'm going to go over to this one and press Paste. I'm going to move it over. I'm going to press just my left arrow to move it over because I don't want it to accidentally go up or down. And I'm going to repeat the process. So I'm going to first send this one to the back. Then I'm going to copy and paste it. Line it up the best I can on top. Crop it to the edge. Double check that it's lined up. Cut it. Paste it. Use my left arrow. And send it to the back. And so you can see it's one big puzzle of one big rainbow across the three. And then from there, you can go in and you can add if you want to add labels to the corners. I hope this video was helpful in helping you figure out how to make your own teacher toolbox labels. If you are interested in making some of your own classroom decor for things like a classroom calendar and hand signal posters, you can catch those videos here. And I look forward to seeing you next Sunday when we are going to be talking more about classroom management and building a strong classroom community. See you then.